Hey everybody, Lawler here with your daily source for Rocket League news and a lot to cover today. NRG, possibly the best in North America that we've seen in quite a while. Longtime pro Eyeignite is going to be retiring. There's a ton of RLCS roster changes and rumors that are happening, and a South American team makes history. And as always, if you guys would like to show me further support, all the social media links that are showcasing here can be found in the description down below. And while you're down there, if you're feeling it, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe and turn on notifications to help me out greatly. But with that said, let's get into the video. So first thing on the list, NRG looking like the best team in North America, and pretty hard to argue that one. If you guys didn't see the recent results from Beyond the Summit, the Summer Shuffle, NRG ended up going 17-3. There's not really a good way to compare how the other teams did because of lower bracket runs and having to play additional matches, but to put in perspective, the team that made it second, and congrats to Omelette for doing so, able to battle back through the lower bracket twice in group stage as well as in the playoff, lost to NRG 3 times, going 1-11. The other two teams that were able to take off matches were Space Station and Rogue, who both did it in a winner final during the group stage and during the playoffs. Plenty of times after we see teams have really good performances after recent roster changes, we become a little bit skeptical and want to see some consistency, and this is now 3 or 4 tournaments in a row, with NRG being within the top 2 every single time. So it is hard to argue about what this team's truly capable of. It comes down to how the players are playing on the day, and from what we've been seeing, it's been absolute domination across the board. I mean, you're looking at the stats that are being backed, and there are certain organizations, like I showed in the last video of their stats, where they take kind of a balanced result of all the different stats between shots, passes, shooting accuracy, all the major notable factors, and give it an overall rating. A good rating is somewhere over the number of 1. Justin averaged 1.65. So absolute domination. One of the players on Omelette, Luke, said in a tweet that he'd be happy to take a couple games off of NRG, and they only got 1. So better luck next time, but Luke, glad to see you grinding and getting your name out there. On the other side of the pond in Europe, longtime veteran Eyeignite has officially announced his retirement. He put out a tweet today saying, "So it's about time I officially retire from Rocket League. It's been an unreal journey playing this for so many years, from AM to pro. Travel the world amidst so many lovely folks, but now I gotta focus on other things in life. Thank you all for the love and support over the years." If you guys don't know Jordan's history, he started in late 2016 for a team by the name of Swap Monkeys, and has gone through many rosters. His most notable when he got his first start was when he got the opportunity to play with Team Envy in RLCS Season 5, where they took 3rd overall. If you guys remember, that was the season where Chiefs ended up going top 4 in the RLCS. Shortly after that, all of Envy wanted to move their headquarters over to Dallas, and with the guys being from Europe, they weren't willing to make that move, so they ended up losing their sponsorship and going back to the old tried and true name for Remco, We Dem Girls. In the following season of RLCS 6, they ended up getting 3rd overall in the World Championship, losing to Cloud9, the inevitable world champs. Immediately after that, they go to E-League 2018 and take the win over a rematch of Cloud9. That was the decision that allowed these guys to then get picked up by TSM. 5th and 6th place in February 2019 at WSOE. Not the greatest performance after that, from 17th to 24th at DreamHack Leipzig. But the follow-up was another match against Cloud9 at DreamHack Dallas in 2019, where they lost again to Cloud9. It was a fantastic development of 2 teams from across different regions battling numerous times in really high pressure matches. Again, similar results then at DreamHack Valencia that followed after, eventually making it to RLCS Season 8, where you started to see a bit of a dip. Now, that may have been the story for TSM, but unfortunately for Eyeignite, there was something that went down in the offseason, and he ended up going to play for a team in the rival series by the name of AS Monaco. After dropping down to the rival series, Eyeignite had a wonderful performance where he and the rest of his teammates, like Extra, who's just recently signed by BTS, ended up taking 1st overall and promoting into the RLCS. A lot of us who are friends of Jordan ended up being really happy about this, as this team did look like they had the best potential to compete in the RLCS in Season 9. Fortunately for them, they ended up getting 10th overall due to their lack of defense, but the offense was never really an issue. For some reason, their defense could not hold on, and that was kind of the last we got out of Jordan. Things didn't go the best for Eyeignite in the Spring Series qualifiers, where they went 5th and 6th for Monaco. The last hurrah for Eyeignite was in Euro Cup 10K, where they played in the second qualifier under the team name of Fadeaway, where they ended up losing to Monkeys. Even though Eyeignite was a player that came in late 2016, you can just see how much history comes with a lot of these players. Wish you the best of luck moving forward, bud. As you guys know, I mentioned that yesterday how I wasn't exactly sure what was going on with Space Station, a little bit of issues going on internally from what I could tell. They just didn't seem to be like they were on the same page, and a lot of the reason that may be is due to communication or some internal animosity going on. Well, in the Astro 2 qualifier that's coming up technically today when this video comes out, it looks like they're playing with Redos in place of AXB. With that being one player that is playing without Pittsburgh Knights, I then look at the rest of the roster, and it looks like AJ is going to be signing up and playing with Sonics in replace of Dapper. The last end of that, you've now got Gyro, who doesn't have two teammates, and if this is the case, this team will disband and lose their guaranteed spot in the final days of the regional events for the fall split that'll be coming up for RLCS X. So a really unfortunate spot for Gyro, but this ends up putting Pittsburgh Knights in a really weird predicament to where they don't know if they're going to be able to continue to use their same roster. Gyro's either got to find a new team or new teammates, and at the same time, if I was Pittsburgh Knights, I would just pick up an entirely different team. I'm looking at Omelette/Mirage, I'm looking at Stromboli, I'm looking at 3-Star Armada, I'm looking at all these other rival series teams that have had pretty solid performances recently that have the potential to come in through an open qualifier event and really make their mark. Again, when these things are made official, I will make sure to update that roster document. Otherwise, in the meantime, just make sure you guys keep checking in for the daily videos, and I'll do my best to update with the things that end up coming out. And last but certainly not least, there was some history made in the Latin American Championships put on by Rocket Street. In a tweet put out by Rocket Street, they said, "Today history was made. In 4.5 years of making tournaments, all competitions were won by Brazilian teams, but not today. Today, True Neutral showed that we are just starting to see the scene evolve. And congratulations to the first Hispanic team that has actually taken a tournament." I think my favorite thing about this is you are starting to see other regions evolve. The hardest thing about other regions like South America and OCE is they just don't have the player base like the United States and Europe, and because of that, they genuinely suffer from lower competition. When you have millions of extra players, you're bound to find more talent, and that talent then creates better competition, and that competition then leads to players getting better. So for many esports and in many seasons, you do see some of these smaller regions have a really difficult time of breeding better talent. But the best part is the fact that in only roughly 2 seasons of Rocket Street, you are already seeing other teams become incentivized and pushing the envelope for what this region has to offer. Many of us going into the tournament, myself included, know the players that have come to land in the past, like L11s, Avidity, and Era, but these aren't the teams that are finding themselves in the grand finals, which is awesome, because it leads to one of two things. Either A, they need to get it in gear and they need to figure out why they are slacking, or B, make those roster changes, pick up some of this new talent, and see if they can work them in. The benefit being able to scrim and practice against other top tier teams is only going to make the region better as a whole, as that kind of trickles down to the rest of the rosters when it comes to time for RLCSX or however they're going to work in their circuit system. Same thing applies to OCE. But the benefit of some of these rosters choosing to stay together because there is competition to go up against is only going to make that region better as a whole. And I, for one, am super happy about that. All in all, massive congratulations to True Neutral for their accomplishment. And I hope that they continue to work hard so they can make this not a one-time occurrence, because everybody is going to be gunning for them now. That is going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know where to drop those down below, and you may even find yourself featured in one of these videos. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the best Rocket League news videos. That is going to do it for me. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.